Have you ever worked with someone on a project and had this experience of being able to process differently or do things differently than if you were working on your own? Every relationship that we have adds to our repertoire of experience in life. And astrology is such a great tool for understanding what relationships do for us. I'm Panda Hershey, and I work with businesses to help them get the most out of their teams so that they understand how individuals work and how their energies combine together to create a fuller experience and more capabilities that their business can tap into. I have spoken previously about Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and their tools. And today I would like to walk you through how they combine as teams. I've done that for their natal charts in a previous video, and now I want to show you how they experience life as a team versus what they experience as individuals and how it might affect their willingness to work together at times and frankly when they should be working apart. So let's take a look. I'm going to start off with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance because I've already shown you this combination of tools in a previous video. And on the left here, just as a reminder, these are Donald Trump's tools arranged in order from his natal chart, everything from his sun in Gemini to his ascendant in Leo, from lowest degree down to the highest degree. And notice that he starts at 5 degrees of Libra for his Neptune tool, his effortless ability to match the energy of another person. And that gap from 0 to nearly 6 degrees is something that creates a space where he has a blind spot, where he needs to watch what is happening before he has a tool to jump in. Now, J.D. Vance begins at 4 degrees of Gemini, 10 minutes. So he too has a bit of a gap from 0 to 4 degrees. And he gets going a little bit faster than Donald, but Donald catches up. And they have this nice back and forth until they both end up at about 29 degrees, 58 minutes, where Donald is stepping away at that point. And J.D. Vance, frankly, is matching, doing everything that he can to match who he is with, presumably Donald in many circumstances, at 29 degrees, 29 minutes. And when we take their charts and combine them to make the chart of the relationship, and then take those tools and line them up from 0 to 29 degrees, here is what we get. The tools for the combined team. And notice here that instead of starting at 4 degrees or 5 degrees, they now start at 8 degrees, which means an even bigger gap for them as a team before they can start getting going. But the first thing they do is they speak. And they speak so that they are offering their talents, their gifts as a team, and they are wanting them received. And very quickly, they are appreciated for that. People will acknowledge that that is what they are doing. And they work through these tools all the way pretty steadily, no big gaps here, until the relationship ends at 28 degrees, 51 minutes of Leo, where they step away. Now, notice here that this spread of tools is narrower than they have as individuals. Before, let's go back, you can see that Donald started at 6, J.D. started at 4, and now together they start at 8. And so when they are in partnership, it may be a little frustrating for them to watch things happening, and together as a team, they may feel a little powerless to do anything. And this may be a good time for them to split apart, do their own thing separately, and then come together. And similarly, at the end, so they can work together in the middle, but at the end, they end at like 28 degrees, I think it was 28 degrees, 51 minutes, but separately they have more staying power. Donald is staying until literally the very end at 29 degrees, 58 minutes, and J.D. Vance is ending at 29 and a half degrees. And so again, they may feel as though they have more to give after the partnership is over and run out of energy to do things on their own. Now, this comes into play especially with some of the portals. And I talked about the Mars portal, but also the Mercury portal right now, which goes from, let me look at this, 21 and a half degrees of Leo to 4 degrees of Virgo. So from 0 to 4 degrees of Virgo, notice that Donald has no tools at all. So there have been 3 weeks of time where Mercury has been in Virgo, where he has no tools to do anything. And being with J.D. Vance has not helped him have a tool to do anything. And for J.D. Vance, he might have some ability to give information, sticking to the details because the portal is literally ending at 4 degrees, 10 minutes. It's in Virgo instead of Gemini. So his paying attention, the best choice for him is to notice the details and attune to them and communicate them. He is doing that. But as soon as Mercury moves back into Leo, then we will see Donald and J.D. Vance emerge and have more ability to speak to the crowd. So I hope this is helpful for understanding a little bit of the dynamics in for Donald and J.D. And the challenges they may be facing and how I would coach them in terms of working through some of these portals that go into the early degrees. They are better off splitting up than they are working together during those times. So next, I'll show you Kamala and Tim, and then I'll compare the 2 teams in another video. But I hope you find this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.